In the past sections, you've been working with expressions. And in section 1.4, you're going to take those expressions and write them as equations and inequalities. So first, let's talk about what an equation and inequality are. First off, an equation is just a math sentence formed by placing an equal sign between two expressions. So you take two expressions, put an equal sign in between them, and you have an equation. Inequality is the same thing, except you're not going to put an equal sign. They're going to be an inequality. So you could write the same thing, a math sentence formed by placing either greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to between two expressions. And those are equations and inequalities. So let's talk about some symbols and meanings. First off, the equal sign means is equal to. So if you see in a sentence it says is equal to, you're probably going to use an equal sign. It could also say the same as. If it says that, you're also going to use an equal sign. Okay, let's talk about when we use the less than sign. If in the sentence it says is less than, you're going to use the less than sign. Or it could also say fewer than. So less than or fewer than, you're going to use the less than sign. So then less than or equal is if it says is less than or equal to. That one's pretty obvious. It could also say at most or no more than. Because if it says it can be at most this, it has to be less than that or equal to. It can't be over that. Then let's talk about greater than. The obvious one is if it says is greater than. It could also state more than. And if the sentence states more than, you're going to use the greater than symbol. And lastly, greater than or equal to. And the obvious one again is if it says is greater than or equal to. But it could also say at least or no less than. So if it said, I need at least 3 jackets, then you would have at least 3 jackets. It means you have to have 3 or more. So that's why you use the greater than or equal to symbol. So let's do a little practice. Practice on writing equations and inequalities. The first one says the difference of twice a number k and 8 is 12. So the difference between twice a number k, if we're doing twice the number k, that means we need 2 times k. We need twice as much. So you're going to have a 2 times k somewhere in there. The difference of twice a number k and 8, so the difference between twice a number and 8, difference meaning subtraction. So the difference between those two is, whenever you see is, that means equal. And it's equal to 12. Let's try the next one. The product of 6 and a number n is at least 24. So the product, meaning multiply, of 6 and a number n, so the product of 6 and n, so 6 times n, is at least. If you're not for sure what at least means, go back up to the chart we just wrote. And is at least, it has to be at least 24. So it has to be greater than 24, but it can also equal 24. It has to be at least that much. So it's greater than or equal to 24. If you're having trouble with this, think about it in something that you would do. If you were at a store and you said, man, I wonder how much those shoes are. And your friend said, oh, they're at least $50. If it's at least $50, it means it can equal 50. It could be $50, but it's going to be 50 or more. So it's going to be greater than or equal to that. Let's do the last one. A number y is no less than 5 and no more than 13. So a number y is no less than 5. So it can't be less than 5. So it has to be greater than or equal to 5. Again, if you can't remember these, go back up to the chart you just wrote in your notes. It says all of these keywords in it. So it can be no less than 5 and no more than 13. So also, y can be no more than 13. So it has to be less than or equal to 13, because it can't be more than 13, but it can equal 13. So in this case, if you have two answers like this, you're going to simplify it and put it into one inequality. To do this, you put y in the middle and write your bigger number first. So write this bigger part first. Less than or equal to 13. On the other side, you're going to put your 5. But since you flip-flopped it, do you see how y is now on the other side? Over here, the 5 was on the right side. Over here, 5 is on the left side. So it's like we flipped it over here. You have to flip your inequality too. So you're going to write less than or equal to 5. The hint is, the letter is always in the middle. Little number is over here, big number is over here, and your signs have to point the same way. So start out with the big number, and then add your little number at the end and make your signs face the same way. The one I want you to do in your notes is the quotient of a number p in 12 is at least 30. The second part of the lesson is checking for possible solutions. The thing to remember is that when you're looking for solutions, you're looking for something that is true. So the solution equals a true statement. So if you substitute a number in for your variable and the result is true, then it is a solution. So you're going to substitute a number in for your letter and see if it's true. If it is, it's a solution. If not, it's not a solution. So let's start here. We're going to check whether 3 is a solution of the equation or inequality. So start with this equation right here. We need to check to see if 3 is a solution of this equation. To do that, you plug in 3 for x. So instead of writing x, you're going to write 3. So we have 8 minus 2 times 3 equals 2. Now, all you have to do is simplify this side and use your order of operations. So multiplication first, 2 times 3 gives you 6. So you have 8 minus 6 equals 2. And 8 minus 6 is 2. So you get 2 equals 2. That is a true statement. 2 does equal 2. So it is a solution. Let's check the inequality. Again, we're checking to see if 3 is a solution, so we're going to plug in 3 for that z. So we have 2 times 3 plus 5 is greater than 12. Use your order of operations, multiplication first. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 5 greater than 12. Then add 6 plus 5. You get 11 is greater than 12. Now you have to check if this is true. Is 11 greater than 12? No, it's not. 11 is less than 12. So this is not a solution because you did not get something that's true. Now if it was 13 greater than 12, that would be a solution. So I want you to do in your notes these two problems in red. Check to see if this equation is a solution, or 3 is a solution to this equation and 3 is a solution to this inequality.